Welcome back to Crypto Talk. So I wanted to just run down on Bitcoin, kind of tell you that nothing has really changed. We're range bound. We are bouncing around between the value area low, which is 91,700, and the all-time high. And the value area high coming in at roughly 98,500. We're ping-ponging our way. I have this white support resistance flip shown here in white. We got back above it again. So we're back above the weekly VWAP. This is why I have this yellow line on. This is the 200 smooth moving average. So on a lot of time frames, this access support. You can almost always, in a lot of uptrends, you can always set a limit order at this. And you can see we've tagged it twice for a nice bull div in both cases. Obviously a stronger bull div here than here. This is kind of funky. Not a fan of how this looks with market Cipher B and the RSIs. This looks like it could come back down and retest the previous week EQ. Coming at 94,984. Let's zoom back out and kind of give you a bigger picture. I haven't done this in a while yet. Let's go back to the weekly. And let's get rid of, okay, I've already turned some stuff off. Let's do our chart here. So where are we? We do have a red dot on the weekly. RSIs are tight and pointing down. So this is best case scenario is to consolidate instead of dumping. So that is nice to see. I mean, look at that, guys. The yearly open is at 42,000. It's pretty crazy, right? More than double. But we got buy volume again. Look at the wicks. Yes, these are red candles here on the 2 week. Each week here, but we've got some buy pressure, which is nice to see. And yes, actually, now that I zoom in a little bit, you've got kind of tight RSIs. Look like this could continue up. This could be a shallow. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out over the next week, into the weekend. Dip below the zero line and come back up. Daily looks more bullish. Trigger wave trying to form here. Falling momentum. You had a bear div here that did finally play out, but consolidation is the best case scenario. 4 hour. We're running into 4 hours consolidation. Looks beautiful. This is the bull flag on the 4 hour. I see nothing wrong with this. I do like how the RSIs are starting to turn back up a little bit here. Nice deep momentum wave. You're putting in higher lows, which is nice. Same thing with the momentum indicator. Money flow is starting to come back up to the zero line after this dip. So 4 hour I like. Let's start on the 2 hour. 2 hour, it looks like we could see further downside. Or this could just fake out continue. I'll have to wait and see. 1 hour is probably more indicative of that. Yeah, it looks like we're coming lower. So I think we'll come back and down and retest this previous week EQ at 94.9. This is just an accumulation part of this next move higher, in my opinion. So I want to see how that goes. 96. Where are we at? So we're currently getting rejected from the weekly VWAP. Coming in at 96.26. So I do expect a pullback to kind of grab some liquidity in this box down here. And then let's zoom back out one more time for you to kind of give you a bigger perspective here. Where are we going? Let's do things on a very, at this point in time, let's do things on a more micro perspective. I could pull out my BLX chart, but let's just stick with this right now. So let's do short-term stuff. So 104 is our next target. Let's go off of just this smaller range. You want to target up here. Obviously, you want to target the all-time high and then move higher from there. But if we're to go from that, from right now, 10% move, 9.6% move. And then the 2618's up at 113. And I think once you hit 113 to 120, this is where you're going to start seeing a big correction after the fact. I think you're going to get one more leg up, and then it's going to be a dumpy. I think we could do something like this. Start stair-stepping our way up. And then papoom. And then really start to get people to accumulate at the top here, and then flush this thing. Let's say we did something of that nature. What would that look like on paper? You're looking at, yeah, it could be like our first 30% pullback before moving higher. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. But keep in mind, I've also been calling for like 130 as our top, 135. So I'm being very skeptical, and I'll be watching larger time frames. For example, I'll zoom back out to the monthly here. And I still see continuation, but let me show you on the BLX chart. 2 week, looks like it's consolidating still, but we have room to top potentially. 1 month, 1 month starting to slow a little bit, which is kind of concerning. Get kind of thick, but we have room to just wait and see. Money flow is my favorite indicator on this larger time frame stuff. It's still pointing up. We've got the VWAP is flat here, and then RSIs are still pointing up and very tight. So this could easily move one way or the other based on what the whales and institutions are going to do for you. So we could have a dip and then pump, or I'll have to wait and see. December is in the middle. Usually it's very bullish in an up year like this one, but January and February leading into March are usually extremely bullish. There's usually like 40% months. So what is from right now to my target is 40%. So if you had two 40% months, what's 80% from here? 80% from here is roughly total speculation, by the way, 175, 173. So we'd really have to see some more mass adoption, and we haven't even seen the mainstream media start pushing Bitcoin yet. So if you're not watching CNBC, you have zero idea what Bitcoin's doing or has talked about. So we need to see that screaming $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 price targets, because no one's going to get in for a 1x or a 2x. They want to get in for a 3, 4, 5x. So give them price targets of 500,000, and then if it hits 200, the institutions are going to dump it. So that's usually how it works. Nothing I say is financial advice. Best of luck. You want to find me at Crypto Blackwall on Twitter, the Blockguard Discord, and if you need some help in the private coaching sector, you can pay for my time over on Patreon. Thanks.